I'm ready for all today, through all the pain, all the way, the fight for all, my life, the love, we're taking it all the way,
So I kind of wanted to start off the episode with maybe a little bit of an apology, mostly to Arthur Smith, because after watching the Falcons Raiders game, I believe it was. So Desmond Ridder was the starting quarterback for the Raiders, I believe it was. Tipp, I think you could agree or disagree with me on the disaster that was, because I believe it was that Ridder didn't complete a pass to the wide receiver till halfway through the fourth quarter. And that got me thinking. Desmond Ridder was the quarterback for the Falcons, and for that time, Arthur Smith went 6-7 with him. And that put me through a deeper rabbit hole. Before I go deeper down this rabbit hole, Tipp, any thoughts on this one?
On Desmond Ridder?
Yeah, in general, where I'm going with this.
I mean, I think you're basically going to say it wasn't Arthur Smith.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Essentially, because, you got to think about it, right? Not only was he able to win games with Desmond Ridder as the quarterback, he was pretty much blanketing all the issues that the Falcons had. Because think about it, right? So right now he is the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. And lo and behold, look at that offense this year compared to was last year. He made Justin Fields look semi-competent as a quarterback. He's killing it with Russell Wilson.
And we all know how you feel about Justin Fields.
And you know how I feel about Justin Fields. And a huge criticism that we had last year was he really is using Jonnu Smith more than Kyle Pitts. And I think we're starting to realize, hey, you know what? He was right. Jonnu Smith is better than Kyle Pitts. Look at Jonnu Smith on the Dolphins. He is literally wide receiver one. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are secondary options right now.
Wow. Wait, say that one more time. What you just said.
I'll say it with my chest. Jonnu Smith is right now wide receiver one on that team. He's making Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle secondary options.
Wow.
With the way he's playing right now, the way he's playing, and the amount of fantasy points he's putting up in production. I said it with my chest.
If you would have said that, Nader, if you would have said that in August or September, I would have been like, I can't work with this guy.
Yeah.
I can't work with this guy.
Too.
Like,
I would too.
That is insane, bro.
And we criticized him for the utilization of Kyle Pitts, and we still criticize the Falcons for it. But I think we just have to understand Kyle Pitts just ain't that good. I think that's just what we have to say.
Well, Nader, I'm not gonna sit here and say Kyle Pitts isn't that good. Hey, he's had a knee injury the last couple of years. And we got some news just a couple of days ago, or just a day ago, or whenever this drops. We got some news that Michael Penix is going to be starting there in Atlanta. I think that might help Kyle Pitts a little bit. What do you think?
No, I wouldn't start him. You know what? That's the problem.
If you had Chickazam Conquo, you wouldn't start Kyle Pitts over him.
Oh God.
Hunter Henry.
I'm probably starting Hunter Henry.
Okay, fair. Stone Smart. Well, who's playing Thursday night? Stone Smart, or would you have gone Kyle Pitts?
Probably Seriously. Kyle Pitts.
Okay. Yeah, man. It's crazy. I think Michael Penix is going to be a good thing for the Falcons.
Yeah, and especially for how he's doing with the Steelers right now. And it got me thinking, you know what? Maybe he was doing all right. It wasn't all his fault, especially without a quarterback. Without a quarterback, you can't do anything in this league. And Desmond Ridder was your quarterback, and he still won football games. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to be the introductionary of this episode. I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts on, I don't know, what randomly goes on through my head, because it was either that or I talk about how I was fighting for my life about 20 minutes ago on the bathroom, and man, I don't even think I won. I think I still lost.
No.
I think I lost.
No. Let's go down that rabbit hole.
I know. Okay, you know what? We're gonna go down a different one. So in another reoccurring, so I'm in this league. It is a reoccurring league, and we've probably reoccurred it maybe about like 10 times so far. You know, it's been about 10 years. And the draft order for next year is, of course, the reverse order of what it was. So, you know, of course, if you got last place, you get 101, you win the league, your last pick. You know, it only makes sense, right? Just like the NFL. And I barely didn't make playoffs. Unfortunately, we all had the same record. I just didn't have the points for. And I had the most points against me, but that's another story. And, you know, obviously, there's no difference between 7th pick, right? 7th place and last place. So now it's kind of how could you get the least amount of points while still setting a competent lineup? You still have to set a, I don't know, how would you phrase the word, Tip? An illegible lineup, I guess would be one way to say it.
I mean, a complete lineup.
A complete lineup, but it has to get the least amount of fantasy points. But you can't go and start like 3rd stringers, 2nd stringers, you know, 4th stringers and stuff like that.
Like loser ball. Okay.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you kind of have to put the, you know, not because you want to win, specifically because you want to lose.
Cousins and let's see,
Desmond Ridder.
Desmond Ridder. Yeah,
you don't know how much fab I put on Desmond Ridder.
He would be a number one. I would put all my fab on Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, I put fab on Desmond Ridder because I wanted the least amount so I could get going on. And you know, I also started right now. This is happening with Thursday Night Football on, and I started in my mind. I'm like, dude, there's no way Estimane, Andrick Estimane scores a touchdown or gets anything, and here he is on Thursday Night Football scoring a touchdown. And man, I'm really, I've never been so sad to get fantasy points in my life. I've never been in the situation where I want to lose, so it's weird. But the fact, I just feel like it's I don't know what you call it. I don't know what's the word for it. Like it's a little bit of karma. Yeah, ironic that I'm finally getting fantasy points in that league. But before we also move on, Tip, I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh God, what did I do?
In your fantasy league, the one that you're doing, you decided to do a 4-man playoffs with a 6-team league. A 12-team league.
I didn't do that. That's what the guys at Full-Time Fantasy, because I tried to ask them. I said, hey, can I make any changes to the league, like set it rules wise or anything? And they were like, no, it's generic. I was like, oh, okay. Because I was like, at first I was like, can you guys do sleeper?
Yeah, honestly.
And then so I mean, they were set like that. Ooh, 14 playoff in the 12. Yeah, you should at least get 6 teams. 6 teams should be.
Yeah, if it's a 12-team league, it should be 6, man. If it's 10-team league, then you could do 4. Even then, I still would kind of lean towards 6. Yeah, just for the fun of it.
Yeah. I agree.
But yeah. So I got 5th place in your league, and I feel like with my team, it should have went further. I'm very surprised it didn't, but you know what? It'd be that way sometimes. Anyway, all right, let's move on. And we always talk about players we don't like and players we don't want. And I figured, you know what? Let's take the time in the beginning of this episode to talk about players that we do want, specifically for next year. Mm-hmm. Like right now, Brian Thomas Jr. He is a wide receiver that I think I'm going to be heavily targeting for next year. Yep. You know, there's always one guy that I sit there and try to make a huge effort of trying to get.
Right.
You know, this year it was Trey McBride and Tony Pollard. I made huge efforts to try to get them in as many leagues as possible.
Yeah.
And now I kind of start creating the list of like, okay, who do I want? Mm-hmm. As long as the situation doesn't change, Like, for example, they don't draft another wide receiver one in the first round for Jacksonville. You know what? I think Brian Thompson, he is going to be the guy there. If they don't draft a running back for either the Cowboys, the Titans, then Rico Dowell and Tony Pollard, they're still going to be the guys there. And they're going to have favorable situations. Tip, do you have anybody that you have on the top of your head where you're like, you know what, this guy, I want him in my league?
Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. is a great one. I mean, we've talked about him the last couple of weeks, but he just keeps balling. Chase Brown, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I was so happy that because I thought at the beginning of this, I thought even before the season started, I was like, he has an opportunity. I know that pass protection was one of his concerns, staying on the field as much, but he's proven he's not bad at pass protection. He's gotten better for sure. That offensive line stinks, but he, as a last resort, he's proven that he can fit the bill for that. Especially I know Zach Moss is one of the better pass protect running backs out there. That was a little scary when they got him, but I just thought he was just so elusive, so fast, so quick on it, like twitchy, and he could catch the ball out of the backfield. And he's a solid frame too, 5'10", 220, 225. I thought that he could really make he looks smaller than that though. I'll say that, man. Like when you see him on the field, he looks like a 5'7", like a Maurice Jones-Drew, maybe not as thick, but like a Maurice Jones-Drew type size. But when I found out he was 5'10", now I know that's those height weight things, those things are their playing weight or whatever they advertise them to be is usually not the case. So, but I was surprised to find out he was 5'10" though. I was like, wow, okay, so he's a bigger guy. And so yeah, I think Chase Brown is one guy that I want to go in every draft next year. I would dare say I would consider, if the team is assembled the same way it is now, maybe a little bit better offensive line, maybe no T. Higgins too. I would put him at the end of the first round, no brainer, no doubt. I think he has an opportunity.
I'm gonna agree with that one as well. He was also on my list of players who was a little bit further down, and I agree. As long as they don't draft a running back next year, or draft an early round RB next year, then I think he's definitely going to be rising up those ADPs significantly.
Yeah.
George Pickens is also somebody that I'm kind of looking at right now because I'm trying to stick with the mid rounds to mid late rounds. George Pickens is probably going to be going in the mid rounds. I'm going to guess right now, probably 5th, 6th round. And him and just Russell Wilson's deep ball and his deep threat has been a really good connection this year. Unfortunately, he's been hurt the past couple of weeks, so you can't even enjoy it for playoff football. But he's somebody that can get consistent production the way he has been throughout the year. Another person that I would kind of say, but he's probably going to be drafted like 2nd round, Malik Nader. He's definitely going to be a guy that I'm going to sit there and go, as long as they don't draft another early round receiver,
Nader.
I'm definitely going to be heavily going for it, especially because they're going to be taking a quarterback.
People don't think that Nader thinks his name's Nader. That's just a joke that he has because he knows it's Malik Nader. I just don't want people to, think that he don't know. Like, it's a play on names.
Oh yeah. At this point, I just go with it. I don't even like.
I love it. Because I do. But there's probably somebody out there. Who the hell's Malik Nader? Who is that? Oh, these guys don't know what the hell they're talking about.
True.
But anyway,
fair enough.
I love it. I mean, look, Neighbors had about the worst season he possibly could have had. I mean, there was games where he was scoring multiple touchdowns. He looked like he was unstoppable. And then there was games where he would take unnecessary or make unnecessary falls and, get concussed. And then you had the Daniel Jones situation. And now you got the quarterback situation with DeVito and Tim Boyle. And it's just been a really bad situation for him. So hopefully they know the stud type of receiver they have. And this draft, they're going to have to go out there and get somebody who's going to get him the ball. Now, everybody is saying that this isn't the best draft for quarterbacks, but there's some guys out there. I think that if you have a skill set like him, you got a pretty decent offensive line. I think that would be a really good piece to get. Maybe get some more pieces on the receivers, some more offensive line pieces as well in the offseason. And I think the Giants can make a quick turnaround if they get the right guy at quarterback. And I'm not saying they'll be like a playoff team next year, but they'll be like a most improved team if they get the right person, I think.
I agree.
So anyway, so Keon Coleman for me.
Ooh, okay.
I like him. Look, dude, 6'4", 215. He had a game, back in week 7. And he followed up with another game behind that, backdoored on week 8. 2 really good back-to-back games, and I thought we were going to start to see a shift change with him, because it had been a little sporadic before that. But then he got hurt in that week 9 game, hurt his wrist, was out till week 14, then came back in week 15. Last week, and he got 64 yards on 1 catch. That's the thing that he does. I mean, he's not the fast guy that everybody talks about, the Blazer, but he's got some yards after the catch ability, especially being that size and that big. And once he gets a little bit acclimated to the game and gets to work a little bit more with Josh Allen and hopefully stays healthy, I think Keon Coleman is the future for that. They're in good hands. Him and Khalil Shakir are really nice players, but I like Keon Coleman. I like more for his size and his versatility. I think that you can, line him up in different spots as well. And he's a big red zone threat. So I like that. I think Keon Coleman's a guy that I'll be targeting next year. And he had such a off season this year. A lot of people are going to forget about his name, especially with names like Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors. They know everybody's going to be on Marvin Harrison because it's year 2. So I think people might maybe forget about his name a little bit. And he can slide to the, round 8, round 9, and maybe I would say round 6 to 9, because it depends on who you're drafting it with, and some people are more on it than others. But yeah, I think if you get him in that range where he could be like a third wide receiver for you, I think that's the spot for him.
Yeah, and he is definitely going to be somebody on the radar. You expect somebody like him to make the year 2 jump that wide receivers tend to do. And because of that, I was also thinking on the top of my head, somebody like, he's not making a year 2 jump. Actually, he's definitely a lot further down the year. This is definitely going to be a speculation on the premise that Deebo Samuel is not on the Niners anymore. I'm actually not going to go Ricky Pearsall. I'm going to be going Jawan Jennings.
Okay.
I think if Deebo Samuel is gone next year, Jawan Jennings is going to be a huge upside player that's going to be going in the mid rounds, probably late rounds of most fantasy drafts. And right now, he is a phenomenal fantasy player, quite even league winner because of the situation that he's in and his productivity chances right now. Right now, Deebo Samuel has 1 touchdown on the year. I mean, like Josh Allen has 1 touchdown. Bo Nix has, I think Daniel Jones has a touchdown this year, a receiving touchdown, I should say. And because of that, I just don't see Deebo Samuel being there next year. And I think Jawan Jennings is going to be the next man up in that case. And I think Ricky Pearsall is going to be in the Jawan Jennings role.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy you're talking about both of them now. I like the Jawan Jennings call. He's just a guy. He's a very reliable possession receiver. And that was Brandon Ayuk. So I am curious to see what's going to happen next year because you got all 3 of these guys coming in there. Most likely, hopefully, you still have George Kittle. I love watching him play. And Christian McCaffrey. This 49er your 49ers team. A lot of people are like, blow it up, rebuild. And no, they just had a bad year because of a lot of injuries. A lot of these players are going to come back healthier and stronger next year. And if you get that offensive line taken care of, man, you might be back where you've been the last few years. So, I think it's just a bad year for injuries. But I like Ricky Pearsall. I like Jawan Jennings. I've even said Ricky Pearsall is a little like Cooper Kupp light for me. I hope to see a bigger jump in Ricky Pearsall. his snaps have been okay, but he's just not getting any work. Maybe he's out there as a decoy. I don't know what's going on there. He's just not getting a lot of opportunities to catch the ball. So yeah, I agree with both of them though. Definitely with Juwan Jennings.
Right now, Juwan Jennings, I think in totality, he is wide receiver 23.5 point PPR.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty wild for somebody coming into the year as wide receiver 3 on the roster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any more?
Sure. I mean, look, I'm watching this kid right now, Bo Nix.
Oh, yes.
Look, man. I know everybody has a year 2 slump. I mean, look at what CJ Stroud is enduring this year, or has endured to his fantasy managers. But this Bo Nix kid has been impressing me, especially these last few weeks. I wasn't particularly big on Bo Nix this week either, because I just felt like it was going to be a slow pace, methodical type game. But then I remembered, I was like, both of these teams don't have running backs. they don't have a run game anymore. So it could be a shootout situation, because ever since J.K. Dobbins has been gone, the Chargers are having a tough time, slowing down the clock by running. So, that's, I think, has been their biggest thing. And I think that Bo Nix he's a guy that I would be looking at next year. Look, you can wait on quarterbacks now. We've been proving that for the last few years. And I think Bo Nix is a guy that I would definitely be picking up next year, because he can do it all. He can run, he can pass. He's good.
Right now, shout out to Chris Godwin. He hasn't played since week 7, and he is still, I believe, wide receiver 40. Yeah, 40.
Wow.
right below DK Metcalf, who I would like to say he's on the do not draft list anymore. Oh, that's bad. It's bad. Quentin Johnson's where he is right now.
Oh, wow.
That's not good. It's not good.
That's not good, because because guess who predicted he would be a number 5 or top 5 wide receiver, top 5 top 8. No, it was top 5.
Metcalf.
Yes, me.
Ooh, the problem is I did draft him in a couple of leagues, hoping that he would do that. Yeah, he didn't work out. Him and Deebo Samuel, even Stephon Diggs is gone, but I mean,
yeah,
that's a Ripperino.
Those three players you just said right there. I mean, Stephon Diggs more because of the injury, but those other two have been just plumb out disasters.
Yeah, not fun. I can't even remember the last time DK Metcalf hit his projections. Let me look. In the beginning of the year, he was doing all right in the beginning of the year, actually. He was getting touchdowns.
Yeah.
He hasn't scored a touchdown since week 7.
That's sad, man. And I've been saying the last 2 weeks, DK Metcalf is due. DK Metcalf is due, and he just doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Unlucky. I think I'm gonna go one more week though. I think I'm gonna say it one more week.
He's due.
I don't know.
All right.
He's due. Yeah, you're right.
He kind of due. I'm sorry. He ain't Justin Fields due, but he kind of due. At least right now.
Yeah.
So right now, as Estamine, it's time.
It's time. There you go.
It's time. There we go. Audric S time, as he has currently 9 fantasy points. God, dude, stop it! I hate how I'm trying to lose.
Back. Look, I tell you, man. I tell you what, Sean Payton is the worst when it comes to fantasy. And a lot of people talk about Bellatrix. A lot of people talk about Shanahanigans. No, Sean Payton is bad. He just has had really, really good players on his team. But when he has a player that he doesn't know about, like, for instance, a Javonte Williams or Audric Estime or Jaleel McLaughlin, it is hell to deal with what you're dealing with him. It's hell. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Like right now in that league on my bench, Trey McBride, Rico Dowell, Josh Allen, DeAndre Swift, Breece Hall, DK Metcalf. I currently have Travis Etienne in because I have full faith he won't do anything. I put Amari Cooper in.
Oh my god.
That one could be bad. I don't know about that one. That one scares me a little
I
bit.
mean, yeah. It definitely scares me. Amari Cooper scares me more than Cooper Kupp. A lot of people have been asking, should I play Cooper Kupp this week? I'm like, dude, yes. Don't worry about this goose egg last week. That is the ultimate. This is an ultimate. What is it called? The squeaky wheel gets the grease or whatever. It's ultimate time for
Yeah. Yeah. Or he could do nothing,
him.
which I'm kind of hoping for now. Sorry, boys.
Oh wow.
But all right, so for some over and unders,
All right.
right now we're looking at the picks. And how did we do last week? Do you have a record?
Let's see.
I know we were over on the Rico Dower rushing yards. We were under on. We were wrong. We were wrong on Jameis Winston's touchdowns. He only had one passing touchdown. I think he needed 2.
Yes, that's what I have here.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any
touchdowns.
more.
Yeah, because I went over. I went over on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if there's anything else. That was the week before. I think that was the only one that we disagreed on.
Yeah,
That was it.
and I only disagree just because of our guest. I just wanted to make fun of him.
Oh, that's right. We had Laquan on last week.
Yeah, we had Laquan on. There we go. So right now, as I'm looking down the list, we're going to start off with some big names. We got Malik Naders with 65.5 receiving yards going against Atlanta.
No, I'm going under, dude.
You going under?
Yeah.
I think I want to go the over. I just
think it's going to be a run-heavy game for Atlanta. I think Tyler Algier and Bijan do something. Just because it's the rookie's first game. Yes, and you know what? Kudos to the Atlanta Falcons staff for doing this and doing it at a game where it's against the Giants. So, you're not playing against the Detroit Lions or the, Kansas City Chiefs or some team that's going to embarrass Michael Penix. You're going against a New York Giants team, and there's a possibility that he can have a decent game and build some confidence. So I think that was a good shot, a good thing for them to do at this point in time when Kirk Cousins is playing as bad as he is. But anyway, I'm going to under on this one for Nader.
Yeah, we're definitely going to disagree on this one. I think he gets the over. I mean, he had 10 receptions last week. I can't imagine he gets 10 receptions or anywhere close to that and unable to get 80 receiving yards. Or what is it? 65.5, is it?
65.5. Oh man, my pen is not working.
Yeah, 65.5. Yeah. But speaking of Michael Penix, we're going to scroll all the way down to him. If I saw it correctly, as I lost it a moment ago, there we go. 227.5 passing yards.
I'm taking the under on that.
Taking the under, yeah, I think I would too.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about him yet. I don't know if I can fully think that he's able to actually be a competent NFL quarterback. I don't know yet.
I think I don't think he's going to be any worse than what Kirk Cousins has been the last 3 weeks.
I don't know what happened.
Dude, I'll tell you what happened. He's 36 years old. He hit a row. He's hit a wall. He's not fully healthy from this Achilles. I've watched a few games of his the last couple of weeks. I haven't watched this past week, and he's still not planting that foot. It's still like on the ball of his foot, even on the tippy toe a little bit, and he's losing like torque with that. And because you plant and then you throw with your hips and your leg movement, that's what gives you that torque. And he's losing torque because he's not fully planting. And I will watch. I'll watch last Sunday or Monday night's game. I'll watch that, here to see if he's doing it again. But yeah, he's not right, dude. He's not right.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so it's probably a good idea to put in Michael Penix. But speaking of rookie quarterbacks or new quarterbacks hopping on the block, Dorian Thomas. Oh my God, I have to say his name. Dorian Thompson Robinson. There we go.
Yeah.
He's going in 4 against Cincinnati. His over-under right now for passing yards is 195.5.
Oh, yuck. I'm taking the under Nader.
Yeah, I think it will too.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Speaking of, since we're on the,
Why they do my boy Jameis Winston like that?
I
Man? Come
know,
on.
like it was against the Chiefs defense. Like that's a good defense. To sit there and expect him to just light them up like that, I don't know. In my opinion, un just not expected, and should have just stayed in the game. Winston gives them the best chance to succeed. I think maybe they understand it's a lost season and see what they have in this guy. But the problem is we had very good wide receivers starting for fantasy playoffs in Cedric Thompson or CJ. I can't remember his name, but CD Lamb. No, not CD Lamb. Jerry Judy. There we go. We had Jerry Judy and Elijah Moore. They were all starting caliber wide receivers. Now none of them are startable. And unfortunately, they had to do this right in fantasy playoffs. I don't like it one bit.
I mean, could there be a world where the Jameis Winston has already interviewed or interviewed for his position for the position there at Cleveland? Those games that they gave him, he's already interviewed, and like you said, they want to see what DTR has, and Cleveland's just dumb enough to do something like that. Could you see a world where that could be happening, where they just want to see what they have in DTR, like you said, and then they're going to showcase him and then get rid of him at the end of the season and just deal with Deshaun Watson and Jameis Winston next year?
I mean, Deshaun Watson, as they said, still is the starting quarterback. I can't believe it. But that's what they said. And unfortunately, I have to take it at their face value because until an Achilles injury happened, he was the starter and unequivocally the starter. So I'm gonna believe him when they say that. Oh God, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird situation. Like Jameis Winston's gonna find another role on another team, whether it's a starter or a backup. He could be a Raiders quarterback for a little bit. He'll at least be entertaining for the Raiders fans.
Right.
I don't know.
I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, it's the Browns unfortunately just have a poorly run organization, especially when every week Baker Mayfield's just lining it up. Like they let him go and haven't found anything since. And even then, like they had 20 years before Baker Mayfield, like 20 or plus, probably longer than 20 years of not having a quarterback, of them drafting, developing, all the way from Brandon Weeden to I don't know. Listen, another court, Johnny Manziel, and they sat there, had a competent quarterback. They were like, no, we're just gonna dump him and then try again, and then be surprised that it didn't. I don't know. It's just it's a terrible organization, terrible philosophy. They're just like the Bears, where they, they're just destined to never have a good quarterback. All right. Anyway, that's the end of my rant there.
Wow.
So now David Montgomery doesn't look like he's playing. Actually, I know he's not playing. Jahmyr Gibbs, 91.5 rushing yards, not both, rushing.
I'm going to go ahead and take the over on this one. He's the only talk in town. I mean, but look, I will say this. If you are just looking for something on the waiver wire, definitely look at Craig Reynolds. And there's the other guy, Vatai. But I would go Craig Reynolds route. This team has sustained 2 running backs all season. So there's no reason to not think that Craig Reynolds isn't going to get some play. But I think Jahmyr Gibbs goes crazy, stupid ham. So yeah, I'm going him.
Not just crazy, but stupid ham. So I know, of course, this is with Montgomery, but he has hit over 91 yards 2 times all year.
Oof.
2 times all year.
Who were those teams?
He went against surprisingly Minnesota and Tennessee, some of the 2 best defenses he's gone against. But he also broke long ones on those ones. He had, I think, like a couple of 67-yard runs on that. Yeah. So to me, I feel like against Chicago, who has a decent run defense, he's going to have to break one. In order to get that, I'm going to go the under.
You're going to go the other. I just think that he's going to get enough
touches to get there.
They should really, beat up on them. I just think he'll get enough to do it. I think he'll break one of those long runs like you were talking about. They still got the best offensive line, I think so, in the league. So yeah, I just think it's going to be a slight over, like 105 yards or something like that. It's not going to be like a blow up, 200-yard game or anything. But
Yeah.
Chicago's bad against the run defense too, or against running backs.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I still think the under. I think maybe he gets like 80, 85-ish.
Okay.
I don't know. 90 yards is a lot.
It is
It's
a lot. It is.
I mean, Saquon, yeah, okay, I could say that.
Yeah.
But as Javonte Williams drops the easiest touchdown he ever had.
Yep.
So we're gonna throw you an alley-oop right here. Jamar Chase 90.5 receiving yards against the Browns.
Yeah, smash it. that could be 150 plus.
Yeah, I'm gonna be smashing the over on this one. I like it easy as well. But all right, so right now for the main topic of the episode, we have a fun one. We're gonna do a little bit of a redraft of the first 3 rounds to see the differences in the decision makings we would have in case. Ooh, touchdown pass, another one. Oh, Oh no,
valet.
No,
get your valet ready.
No.
Oh, you're late. Okay, so you took. All right, you know what? I'm gonna take number 4.
Oh my god, I started Vel in that league where I don't need fantasy points. Oh my god.
Oh wait, is there a flag or something? Why are they?
Oh my god.
Wow. Dude, the Chargers, the Chargers need J.K. Dobbins back in a bad way, dude.
They do. They don't have a running game.
Yeah, him being hurt, that really killed their momentum. Oh, there's no.
Yeah, and because of that, I think it's silly that the Chargers bet their running game on somebody who's had like 2 ACL tears and Achilles tear and all that, but.
I mean, he was dynamic though, dude. He was
dynamic, but to sit there and expect him to be healthy for 17 games, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
And the same with Gus Edwards. I mean, Gus Edwards has been.
I mean, the probabilities were low. I mean, I thought that he could do it. I mean, look at what AP did back in the day. I mean, anybody could do it, but it's just like you said, it was not a good chance of doing that.
Exactly. Now, so right now, because it's so late into the season for drafting, but not early enough for next year's drafting, here, I'll go slide it in the middle. ADPs aren't even out.
Yeah.
There are no ADPs, so we kind of have to do it not necessarily off the dome, but we have to just kind of pick who we want in that scenario, not necessarily have like a defined specific ADP list. The problem with this is I'm a little bit worried that if we were to do bots, that they would just pick whatever. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try it. Let's start.
All right.
See what they do.
All right. Oh, yeah. See, it's doing a weird thing. Yeah, you're right. It picked the Tennessee Titans, the Washington Commanders, and the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That's what I was worried about.
Oh, wow.
So you know what? We're going back. We're gonna manually set the player 101.
All right.
So we'll discuss this real fast. I think it's pretty obvious. 101. Unfortunately, I can't go Christian McCaffrey. I think we got to go Bijan.
Oh snap! He's on the Bijan train. I love it.
I'm not on the train. I just understand that right now he's 101 when it comes to running backs.
Oh man, he's it, right? So if Bijan's number 1 as far as running backs, I think you got to go with the very next best at any position, and that's wide receiver. It's Jamar Chase.
Chase.
They've done with him. Yeah, what they've done with him this year, him being in the slot more, and he's actually in the slot. Oh, you're doing it. He's actually.
I have to manually put it.
He actually has been in the slot more. I think like most of the games, it's like, or out of all the accumulation of games, it's been like 34%, which is the highest he's ever had. That's what I was looking at PFF. That was last week when I was looking at it. But yeah, Jamar Chase is a dog, bro. He's a monster.
He got that dog in him.
Yeah,
now,
he does.
Pick 103.
Oh.
I kind of went back and forth a little bit on this one. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards Saquon Barkley.
Okay, it's a redraft. Okay.
Right now, it's Saquon Barkley. He's kind of who I'm going at right now. Okay. Do you have any
No, I mean, I like it. I think it's fair based off the season he's had this year. Now, look, we've got to understand. I thought the tush push was going to go away, but it seems like the tush push is here to stay. So
Yeah.
that does hurt Saquon a little bit, because I think that because of that damn tush push, Saquon probably could have at least 6 more touchdowns, at least.
Yeah.
But that tush push is really taking away some of his TDs, but he's still dynamic. So I'm not mad at that at all, Saquon there.
Yeah, so you know what? I think I'm going to go with him because right now I'm looking at the wide receiver listings because I was looking at for another wide receiver to put in that spot. But right now, of course, like you mentioned, Jamar Chase, he's got total in half point PPR 284 fantasy points. The second is Amon Ra with 215. There is a 70-point difference between the two.
Yeah.
So I can't justifiably put another wide receiver at 103. I gotta go with Saquon. In my opinion.
I like it.
All right. Now you're up right now.
I mean, I want to go Justin Jefferson. But he has a tendency to disappear at times because they have weapons there. It's not just a Justin Jefferson. And when you got a guy who is where you're picking at this spot, you want a surefire every week type dude. So I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb actually, because I think that when Dak comes back, that now it's predicated on his health, but I think CeeDee Lamb is he's just as good as Chase. Chase is just so freaking smooth, man. CeeDee Lamb is too, but yeah, I think CeeDee Lamb is a guy who's a little bit more consistent right now, as long as Dak Prescott is there.
Yeah. And right now, it looks like Gus Edwards is walking off the fields with the Lamport guy.
Oh
so
God.
right now, CeeDee Lamb's off the board, and I'm kind of like the questions on the back of my mind. When do we put in McCaffrey?
If you want to go ahead and put him in there, go ahead.
Would you agree that he's like 05 spot? Is that too early? Would you rather have Tyreek Hill there?
I'd rather have I'm not even Tyreek Hill. I think Puka. Well, it's either Puka or Amon-Ra for me next.
I think I go Amon-Ra. I trust him more.
Yeah.
Amon in that wide receiver.
Yeah,
I
want to wait. I want to wait. If I'm going to draft Christian McCaffrey, I want to make sure if I was going to get Christian McCaffrey, I want to make sure that he's fully back. I don't think he's fully back. I don't. As of right now, it's up in the air for him.
I know, but right now, wide receivers are going to be hopping off the board for a minute because, do you want Derrick Henry in the first round?
No, end of the first round. I'll tell you what. I'll take Chase Brown before I take Christian McCaffrey. Right now.
Right now, I don't know. Oh,
I know there's a lot of question marks. Zach Moss is back, and all. I just think Chase Brown. I think Chase Brown has made an impression on that team.
Okay, so right now we're at 106. Where would you put?
So we just went Amon-Ra. I am going Puka Nacua.
Puka.
Yep.
Puka.
Puka.
I'm not mad at that one either.
Yeah, no, Puka is it. I mean, he had that knee injury. I think if Puka didn't have that knee injury, he would easily be right there with Jamar Chase, or maybe a little bit behind Jamar Chase, because Jamar Chase is having just a crazy season. But he would be that number 2 guy.
Like Jamar Chase missed. Let me look. Half the year. Yeah. He came back week 7.
Puka did. Yeah,
came back week 7. Right now he's wide receiver 25.
Yeah, he's still wide receiver 25. That tells you right there that if he was to make those 7 weeks or play those 7 weeks, he would be a top 5 wide receiver easily. Top 3.
Okay, let's see. I think now I'm putting Justin Jefferson in.
Yeah, now I feel comfortable enough. I know I'm going to get some really great weeks, but I also know that I might get 6 for 70. Which isn't bad. It's still 14 points at a PPR. but
Yeah.
it's consistent. But it's just like, damn, you got Justin Jefferson. You want boom weeks, like multiple boom weeks in a row, and you're just not going to get that from him in that offense. With those other skill players.
Yeah, I think 107 Justin Jefferson's a good spot right there. Now I'm up at 108.
Okay.
I'm willing to take the risk on CMC.
Okay.
I'm willing to take the risk there. I feel like, you know what, it's a good spot. If it fails, you know what, I've taken Brees Hall.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out, and I still was able to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
If McCaffrey doesn't work out at 108, it's not going to be the end of the world.
Well, you just said a name that I'm willing to take here at 9, and it's Brees Hall. I still believe in him.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the Jets, I don't know what they're doing. I do know one thing that, I know that Braylon Allen is there. I think that they just need to completely revamp what they're going to do on offense. I think they need to run the ball first, play good defense. And then if Aaron Rodgers decides to play, which I think that this may be it for him, then yes, but Brees Hall is a guy that I'm looking at to have a really big bounce back season next year. Hopefully these Jets run the ball more. As Bo Nix runs about 16 yards down the field.
I'd like to see that. Now, after Brees Hall, I'm kind of taking a look at the list, and it's starting to dwell. The top tiers have definitely fell off.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to sit there and think, like, I don't want to do Terry McLaurin there, even though mathematically he would be next.
Mm-hmm.
I see Jackson Smith. I still don't necessarily want to do that either.
Yeah.
I don't want to take Derrick Henry there.
You don't want to do Derrick Henry?
I kind of do, but I also don't.
What about AJ Brown?
AJ Brown? Sure. We could put him there.
I still think he's a top 10 pick for sure.
Yeah, you know what?
Back half for sure. Like, you can get him next year 8, 9, 10. I would even argue 7.
He's always around this spot right here. Like, if you can get him 110, 112, off the turn, I think that's a good time.
Now look, in a 10-team league like this, you got AJ Brown, and if you get Derrick Henry and AJ Brown, wow, that's a lights out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lights out combo.
All right, now here's where I'm going to go Gibbs. I think Gibbs.
Okay.
This is like a really good spot for Gibbs.
Another good one. Another good spot, and you know what? You're going to go Brees Hall. I want to go Derrick Henry here, but I already have a running back. I do think that there's a couple of wide receivers. I like Brian Thomas Jr., but I don't know if I'm ready to just anoint him like that just yet, especially since we don't know the future of who his QB is going to be. I mean, we know it's probably going to be Trevor Lawrence, but
yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Chase Brown here. I think Chase Brown you could slide Chase Brown in that 1-2 turn, and this is perfect for him. And to have Brees Hall and Chase Brown, that is a nice running back combination.
Yeah, so this is where I start getting confused on what do I want to do next? What do I want to do next? Derrick Henry is available.
He's still there.
He's still there.
I think what we're nervous about is the age. When will it finally catch up to him,
And it's also when he doesn't get touchdowns. When he doesn't get touchdowns, it hurts.
He's not
hurts.
catching the ball. You're right.
It hurts.
Right.
I know. In the second round, I think I'd rather let somebody else deal with it than me. That's the thing. It's some things like players are good. It's just would I rather not deal with it, and I don't really want to deal with it, even though he is RB2 right now.
Right.
He is RB2. Josh Jacobs is also up there, but I don't really want him either.
Right.
Yeah, him like that. I don't know. That's the question mark right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet. I'll do Derrick Henry.
Okay. That's definitely good. So for me, the next one here, it's Nico Collins, man. I think that You get Nico Collins. Look at that. Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry. Ooh, get your AARP card ready. Look,
I know.
It's funny. I had in a best ball draft. I had Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry.
Oh, I mean, if McCaffrey didn't get hurt, that'd be such a nice lineup right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like Nico Collins. I think that he was having a hell of a season. And he just had 5 games that he missed. So I think he would be, right up there, in the top 10 right now easily if he would have had all 5 of those games. So
yeah,
this is a good spot for Nico. Yeah.
Now, all right. I think shoot. Is this still too early for Brian Thompson?
This is I mean, why not? The dude has been playing his ass off, dude. He is balling right now. He's so smooth. It's real fun to watch. I've watched a few of his games now, the last couple of days, and he is just getting better and better. And he was already good to begin with. Man, he's so smooth, dude. Smooth.
Yeah, you know what? I'm putting him in there.
Yeah, he is, dude. I think he might be close. That guy that's close to being QB proof. Because they tried it out. Come on, Mac Jones, bro. Like, yeah.
All right. So right now we're also looking at the wide receiver spots. We see Terry McLaurin, Malik Nader, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, stuff like that. Mike Evans is there, but I think Mike Evans will drop a little bit longer. Those are just in the wide receiver spots. We still have Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Kamara.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams.
I would take Kyron Williams here. Oh well, no, let me take that back because Blake Corum's there, and that might be a little bit mix up. And I know that Josh Jacobs has some people breathing down his neck, like Marshawn Lloyd and Emmanuel Wilson and Chris Brooks. I understand that, but Josh Jacobs is showing he's still got some left in the tank. He's running hard.
I'm gonna put him.
I like Josh Jacobs here. Yeah.
Josh Jacobs there. I think this is where next year we're going to start seeing a run on running backs, late second round to third round. Just because right now I'm looking at the list and I'm like, okay, I mean, like Devon A-Chain's still there, Kyron Williams is still there. Like right now, you have the pick right here, so I'll let you do it.
Yeah, it's Kyron Williams for me. I just trust that offense and trust him a little bit more than Devon A-Chain.
I don't even know how to spell Kyron.
I think it's Kyren.
That was a lot of letters in a short amount of time. And then right now, like Joe Mixon's still available, Devon A-Chain's still available, like Calvin, like Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Like right here, I think right here, this is where A-Chain.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
And you know who we still haven't talked about? You know who we still haven't talked about yet?
Who's that?
Tyreek Hill, he's still available.
I think there's a reason he's still available. I've just, this offense, it's become too predictable. Speed kills, but you got to have a little bit of like you took him anyway. I just think that I think speed kills great when you're younger. When you get older a little bit, you're 30, you lose a little bit of that speed, you lose a little bit of that strength. Tyreek Hill's not a big guy to begin with. I just think that it might be catching up to him, man. I think he still has another year left, but yeah.
So if you go next year's draft, right, and you're able to get Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill,
you would be happy.
I think I'd be pretty satisfied with that.
Yeah, you would be happy because you know Jamar Chase at any look, and Tyreek Hill could have a complete flip of the switch. I just don't think it's going to happen. But I mean, yeah, you're right. I think that's a good spot for him. I think the next one, I think Joe Mixon is good here.
Yeah, I was just about to mention Joe Mixon.
Yeah, I think Joe Mixon is good here. Another year older. So I think Joe Mixon and Bijan Robinson, that would be a hell of a tandem right there. So now you got to go with the wide receiver situation. And that's where I think I would also be okay with getting Malik. You got me saying Malik Nader. Malik
Mm-hmm.
Neighbors. I wouldn't mind going with him here. I tussle with maybe going with Marvin Harrison, but I think Malik Neighbors was what Brian Thomas was supposed to be this year. It just didn't all happen because of the QB situations, because of the injuries. But I think Malik Neighbors is still a talent.
Yeah, and he took right now Bijan Robinson, Joe Mixon, Malik Neighbors. That's a solid three right there. I think you can be pretty satisfied leaving the first 3 rounds of the draft like that. Like right now, team 2, Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill. He needs to grab himself a running back right here, and I think he can. I mean, right now Alvin Kamara is on the list.
Yeah,
James Cook is also on the list.
Yeah.
And I would go one or the other right now. David Montgomery is also available. Chuba Hubbard. Yeah, there we go. Those guys are still available. But I think I personally would rather have Alvin Kamara.
Okay, I like that.
So I mean, if he leaves the draft with Chase, Hill, and Kamara in the first 3 rounds, that's not bad at all. I think you can be very satisfied with that. Same with team 3, Saquon, A-Chain, and now he's going to need a wide receiver to top that off to really round it about that. I'm looking at, of course, like Terry McLaurin, of course, still available. Jackson Smith, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. That's kind of the list right now where I'm looking at.
I definitely like Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin, yeah, I was gonna
really good.
Scary Terry McLaurin. I used to hate Terry McLaurin because his name sounded like a Starbucks drink.
Yeah, I like Terry McLaurin a lot. I think that he has an opportunity to get to that next level, that next tier. I mean, he's a little older, so we got to be aware of that. But yeah, I think that he has a good opportunity. We really haven't talked about Jonathan Taylor. And I still don't think we're going to talk about him here. I mean, Jonathan Taylor is nice. I mean, yeah, he had the boneheaded play this past weekend. He owned up to it, but I still think he's a good runner. I think he's a great runner. When in between the tackles and space. So I'm gonna, let's do it. I'm gonna go with Jonathan Taylor here.
Yes, I mean, you got a solid start right here. CeeDee Lamb, Kyron Williams, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
that's a nice core right there. So we have, I'm a little disappointed you didn't notice the little Easter egg that I put for Team 5.
Oh, Equanimous Saint.
Yeah,
I saw it, and I was like, well, I know he meant Amon-Ra, but no, I did see it. Yeah,
I was like, I wonder if he'll notice. Anyway, so Team 5 right now has Equanimous St. Brown, Josh Jacobs, and so he has the freedom, just like you did, to go either wide receiver or running back. You can kind of go best player available.
Team 5 gonna lose.
Team 5, yeah. The problem is he has good players, just not solid enough. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
what would you like to see him do?
We'll go with Brock Bowers. Do it.
Brock Bowers.
Go with Brock Bowers here, man. Look, yeah, I think it's time for the new number 1 tight end to get drafted here in the 3rd round. We didn't go crazy and get him in the 2nd round because the fact of the matter is we still need to see who the hell our quarterback's going to be in Raider Nation. A lot of people are saying Shador. If Shador's there, Brock Bowers might jump up to the 2nd round. But yeah, it's Brock Bowers. I think it's good.
So I put him there for Team 5. Right now, Puka for Team 6, Brian Thompson Jr., and pick 3. So he needs a running back. Yeah. But what he could also do, because right now, running backs like James Cook and James Conner are available.
Yeah.
David Montgomery as well. Aaron Jones Sr., Chuba Hubbard, stuff like that. But he could go quarterback as well. If he were to take Lamar Jackson, he would kind of get a little bit of a running back as well. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that. Would you rather have James Cook or Lamar Jackson right now?
I would probably lean Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson?
Yeah. I would probably lean Lamar Jackson.
Because right now, Lamar Jackson, this is basically like one after the other. James Cooks, I almost feel like has to go after this anyway.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, as I mistype his name. Lamar Jackson. And then right now, I mean, of course, it works out. Team 7, Justin Jefferson, Nico Collins. And now he wraps it up with James Cook.
That's a good lineup.
That's solid right there in itself.
I mean, you're gonna deal with James Cook having some off weeks, but he will blow up.
And right now, my team currently with McCaffrey and Derrick Henry, I need a wide receiver because they're not going to be available probably.
Yeah.
So right now, I would be looking at Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, or Garrett Wilson. But I don't really want either Garrett Wilson or Devontae Adams without knowing a for sure answer on the quarterback situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to go Mike Evans.
Okay.
I think I want the solidness.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, Evans. He got injured, but I don't think he's lost a step.
No, he's just a big guy.
Little bit. Yeah,
he probably did. But he's such a big physical receiver that he's never been about speed. So if he loses a step, it doesn't necessarily matter for him.
Right. Yeah. I'll go. I already have Breece Hall, so I can't go Devontae Adams or Garrett Wilson. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could, but I don't want to. I think we talked about him earlier. I think Chris Godwin. I think that he comes back. You know what? Actually, I'm going to change this. I'm not going to go Chris Godwin. I'm going to go Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice.
Ooh,
I think Rashee Rice has an opportunity. He was already on the way of becoming a 1,300-yard receiver this year.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, Rashee Rice is the go here. I know he got the ACL injury, but these days, and it was early enough in the season, he should be back, right near or right around training camp, and ready to go. You do worry about the off the field issues, but hopefully, him getting hurt kind of humbled him a little bit too. So, I
also have no idea how to spell Rashee Rice.
It's Rashee.
Oh, there. Oh, he doesn't have a D in the end. Oh,
yeah, it's Rashee.
There we go. Rashee. Okay. So last pick of the third round. This is as far as we're going to be going, as we are currently going a little bit past the hour mark, which is a little bit more than I'd like. It depends on the cut-ups and all that, but last pick of the draft. Send it off. AJ Brown, and Jahmyr Gibbs. What do you think he needs? I mean, Josh Allen would be also like a decent pick here.
Yeah. I think you could argue Josh Allen should have gone, the first
before Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of 1A, 1B, or 1C. Jalen Hurts. Yeah, it's. I think Allen's a perfect pick here, and that would be that's a damn good squad right there.
Yeah,
AJ Brown, Jamar Chase, or Jahmyr Gibbs, and Josh Allen. Oof.
That'd be a tough one to go against. So, of course, that's going to be wrapping up the little mini draft that we had going on. It's always interesting kind of going back how the year significantly changes the draft order.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still going to see some big names, big boys in the front, like Bijan Robinson, Chase, Barkley, Lamb, St. Brown, stuff like that, Justin Jefferson, stuff like that, and all those good players. But seeing like McCaffrey drop so far, Jonathan Taylor dropped so far, and I'm trying to find another one right now, like Joe Mixon, Tyreek Hill. In this case, he dropped a lot further than I anticipate him. I think his name value is going to force him to kind of go in the earlier second round to maybe late first round. But I personally probably wouldn't do it. I would rather be going like Devon Achane, Kyron Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, stuff like that, all the way before I go to him. But I mean, some people just like the speedster in the wide receiver position. But other than that, hey, Tipp, tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, Tipp Major, football guys, doing writing. I wrote my second article yesterday, just came out. Also with the sports affiliation. With Greg Kellogg, we do a Q&A show, and then we also do the Thursday Checkdown. Also, 32-bit with you, Nader, and then the Rip and Tip space after the game on Thursday night.
There we go. And other than that, hey, good luck in your playoffs, everybody.
Peace.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for all today. Throughout